Think with the doctor. Yes, he's got it. Here he comes. Way rock the baby to sleep.
Until morning. Ewing.
Oh, wow. Oh, he's going to try to get one more shot off the end. Push the buzzer. How about that? Rivers steps over Toronto. He thought about three. He'll put up a three.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, Boom Broadcasting presents 3 from Deep. I'm your host, Jason Colenso. Welcome to the show. Thank you guys very much here for joining me on this Memorial Day. I do appreciate it. But real quick, we are going to take time out right now to thank all of those servicemen and women who give so much and sacrifice, who have served, who are serving, who will serve. Thank you all very much for your dedication. And this is a solemn day because, again, we do have to remember those who have fallen in service and defense of this great United States of America. So here from 3 from Deep, we thank you very much for your service. We thank all of those who have ever served. And especially I want to give a shout out and some love to my father, Edward Colenso Sr., who served in the Air Force. So thank you very much for your service. Guys, we're going to take a quick pause in silence for those who have fallen. I thank you very much. And I thank you guys very much for joining me on this special holiday. Coming out of the weekend, what a great weekend for NBA basketball. A lot of surprises coming out of the weekend for NBA basketball here. And I'm in a better mood today, of course, after last night's Knicks performance. So going to be a little easier on me for this show. So I thank you all very much. Thank you very much for joining me. But first things first, if you're first time here, welcome. I'm Jason Colenso. This is 3 from Deep, your NBA podcast. If you haven't joined us on Boom Broadcasting before, welcome. Like and subscribe on here, guys. You will not be sorry. We do a great job with all kinds of content. We have a lot of great content providers. Wrestling right now, has been off the hook. You got to check out Mouthing Off with Mike with his show. My man Sean Lucas with his show. Wrestling has been going crazy. So you got to check these guys out. You also got to, jump on here because we do have tons of great content providers. Besides that, Podcast Mini does a great job with, especially when he jumps into hockey and the WNBA. He's all over the place. My man, Michael Davis, the president of the Boom Broadcasting Network, he does a phenomenal job on all his podcasts and is a phenomenal writer. So you got to check out some of his articles on the Fans First Network, man. He is great with the pen. So you got to check him out. We have a lot of great stuff here on Boom Broadcasting. We have Aaron, we have Carson. Man, there's just too many to name. I'm sure I forgot some of our guys here, but man, you got to check out Boom Broadcasting and this channel here. We've got everything you want. We are very entertaining. At least I try to be entertaining. So again, like and subscribe. And guys, drop me a comment. So if you do like what you see, let me know. If you don't, let me know. Positive or negative comments, I take them all, man. I'll even take the negative ones. I don't care. Make fun of me. Do whatever you got to do because that just means at least you're watching. So I take everything and I roll with it. So thank you all very much for joining me here, man, on Monday. Yes, the New York Knicks pulled out a much-needed victory last night against the Indiana Pacers, 106-100. It was not for the faint of heart, too, especially your Knicks fans here, like myself. When you go down 20 again and have to come back and win, it seems this is our MO now, especially on the road. We did that in Boston. Now we're doing this with Indiana. We couldn't win 2 games at home being up. So now we go on the road, go down 20, and come back with a great victory. A little little bit of drama on this. The New York Knicks starting Mitchell Robinson, bringing Josh Hart off the bench. First time that's ever happened. So that was really interesting. I don't know how much dividends it paid, but I tell you what, Josh Hart was definitely pivotal in that comeback in the third and fourth quarter, especially his rebounding. He was all over the court. Definitely the heart and soul of that team, an unsung hero of the New York Knicks. He needs to get a lot more credit. But man, Karl Anthony Towns, if it wasn't for him, the Knicks would have lost this game. Jalen Brunson dropped 23, but was in foul trouble again the whole game. The Knicks foul trouble. I think with about 3 minutes ago in the first quarter, that the Pacers were already in the penalty and shooting foul shots. That is not good, guys. Fouls are just bad defense with a lack of focus, because there's a fine line between good defense and a foul. Good defense is focus. Bad defense is a lack of focus, and it becomes a foul. So we gotta stay out of foul trouble. But man, Karl Anthony Towns, 24 and 15, pivotal in that comeback for the New York Knicks. Much needed victory. McBride with 9 important points, coming off the bench. We needed that spark. He was a spark. He was, again, all over the place. Bridges, 15 points. OG, 16 points. Rebounds and defense in that end of the third, fourth quarter was extremely important for the New York Knicks. And it saved their season, because going down 3-0 in the NBA playoffs does not bode well, because no team has ever come back from being down 3-0 in the playoffs. So it was a heck of a win. Indiana, they had it, man. They had, an Indianapolis 500 day. Again, they had the Indianapolis, which is crazy, early in the morning. And then the Indiana Pacers had their Indianapolis 500 in that evening. Alex Palo, the first Spanish driver to ever win the Indianapolis 500, he was there at the game. But it was pretty crazy that the 500 and this game was the same time. I got my Speed Racer poster here in the background here, because watching that Indianapolis Pacers team, or excuse me, the Indy Pacers team, Indiana Pacers team is like watching the Indianapolis 500. They are so fast. And for 3.5 quarters, man, they were running up and down on the New York Knicks again. But Knicks, slow down the pace of play. Throw the ball, get down low. Karl Anthony Towns is more effective when he puts his big butt down low, pushes guys out of the way, gets his high percentage shot off, either makes the basket, gets the and one, or get the foul. You slow the game down. I hate when he just sits there and chucks up from three and some of those deep threes. And they were doing that again last night at certain points, which drives me crazy, where they go down, they get a stop, they go down, and they chuck up a three with 10, 12 seconds left on the shot clock. So you're not running time off the clock. You're chucking up a low percentage shot. That just drives me nuts. And then you don't even get the offensive rebound. So some of the things have my biggest pet peeve in these playoffs with the New York Knicks right now is just their shot selection and their ability to change the pace of the game has been off. And you got to do that against these Indiana Pacers. They are just too fast. You cannot let them get momentum like they've been having. So Halliburton only had 20. Siakam only 17. So Siakam back down to earth, and that helps, guys. You made Pascal Siakam look like Michael Jordan the last game. So playing better defense, kind of pushing him out of the way, getting him off of his game. But TJ McConnell, man, that guy coming off the bench for the Pacers, man, you talk about somebody that puts a spark in that Indiana Pacers team. He had 12 points off the bench, but man, he is just everywhere. He gets he's the shortest guy in the damn court, and he gets rebounds like crazy. He was kind of the highlight for the Indiana Pacers in that game, but they just could not withstand the Knicks defense. And again, better shooting, getting to the foul line. That's where you guys make your money right now, is you shoot a high percentage at the free throw line. We got to keep that up. We got to keep that up. All right, guys, I'm checking my mic, make sure we're still on. I was about to fire Tom Thibodeau at halftime, down 13. And I'm texting the Boom Broadcasting family back and forth here during the game because they always like to check on me, especially when the Knicks are down. They just want to make sure I'm okay. They like checking up on me here to make sure I'm not losing my mind. But Tom Thibodeau, I got questions, man. 5 years with the Knicks, 227 and 174 record, 23 and 20 in the playoffs. So 3 games above 500. And right now, I can honestly say if the Knicks lose this series, I feel that Tom Thibodeau needs to be fired as the New York Knicks head coach. 5 years of mediocre basketball, especially in the playoffs, is not going to cut it. Plain and simple. You've had some great seasons. The regular season, you've had a bunch of 50-win seasons. But when you get to the playoffs, if you fall short, and that can't happen with the New York Knicks. We have waited way too long to even try to sniff a championship, to be happy with mediocrity. And right now, you got 2 head coaches out there looking for a job that have won a championship and not that long ago, in Budenholzer and Malone. So, Tom Thibodeau, you're on notice. If you do not win this series, I still believe that Tom Thibodeau needs to be fired as a New York Knicks head coach. And I would say go out and get Mike Malone. I like what he did there in Denver. I think he had some issues with ownership, but, coaches and ownership always teeter on a love-hate relationship. But look what he did with Nikola Jokic. He brought Denver a championship, which Denver has never sniffed, and then they ended up getting one with him. So Tom Thibodeau, you're on notice, man. This game 4 coming up on Tuesday night is going to be pivotal for the New York Knicks moving forward, because going down 3-1 is a tough mountain against this Indiana Pacers team that is playing the way they are. You go 2-2, you even the series, you go back to the Garden. That's a whole nother thing. That's now you got to win 2 out of 3, and I think the Knicks can do that, especially when you have home court advantage. So you got to swing home court advantage back into your favor. But if you go down 3-1, that's a tough mountain to climb. So, but a great victory from the New York Knicks. Thank you very much. My heartburn is thanking you very much too, because, again, going down 20 and then clawing back and winning. My nerves are shot. It's amazing how emotional we get when we watch these games, and it's amazing. I was thinking about it the other day, how emotional we get with sports. If you're a sports fan, and when you live and die with your team, no matter who it is, what season it is, it's tough going to bed angry when they lose or don't play well. It's hard to go to bed angry. It's hard to wake up. Hard to put on Sports Center and have reminders. It's hard to watch your social media feeds. You don't like the reminders. So it's tough. So I remember back in 2001 when the Yankees lost the World Series to the Diamondbacks. One of the very few hiccups that Mariano Rivera ever won, 2001. season, of course, with 9/11 and all the emotion wrapped up into it. I think the Yankees ended up beating the Seattle Mariners that year to get to the World Series. And I think Seattle had the most wins by a team in the regular season. We ended up beating them, got to the World Series, but ended up losing. I could not watch SportsCenter for a week. That's how kind of like distraught and angry and upset I was with that loss. Couldn't watch SportsCenter because I didn't want the reminder, just emotional breakdown. So to me, it's amazing that these games can affect us so much, and how much sport affects the fans the way it does. So, but a heck of a win for the New York Knicks. We needed that. Get back in the series. It's not over yet. We have a long way to go. It's only 2-1. We need one more. Knicks need one more in Indiana. So we'll see what happens Tuesday night. Will I show up on Wednesday's show in a good mood again? It remains to be seen. Because it's hard. Saturday's show was difficult. I was angry, and like I said, I'm trying to keep this politically correct and PG, because again, it's Boom Broadcasting. We like to invite everybody to us. We don't want to have a show that it would not be for everybody's ears. And again, here on Three from Deep, it's children of all ages. So I want to make sure that I don't go off the rails too much. So Knicks, let's keep it going. Don't have me go off the rails, please. Let's jump into that Western Conference Finals game, guys. So, wow. Minnesota Timberwolves, I was wrong. Saturday, I sat here and said that Oklahoma City is the best team left in these playoffs. I thought this series was done. I was expecting a 4-game sweep. The Minnesota Timberwolves looked horrible. Ant-Man looked Ant-Man size playing in these playoffs right now. I thought they were done. 3-101. T-Wolves pull out a victory. A 42-point victory. That is crazy in the playoffs. Anthony Edwards, 39-6. Respectable, much better. Showed up this game. He didn't need to do much more in the game because it was so far blown out. He was resting a lot. Julius Randle, the new Julius Randle, showed up, not the New York Knicks Julius Randle, who had 6 points the last game. He had 24 points, so great bounce back game. So Timberwolves, congratulations for showing up into the series. Thank you for proving me wrong. I know I'm not right a lot, but I am wrong a lot. So thank you for showing that. I was definitely wrong on you guys. So this is not going to be a sweep. But SGA. To be the MVP team, to have 14.6 assists, only 4 for 4 from the free throw line. So all this complaining about SGA getting the fouls and going to the free throw line, well, that didn't exist in this game. Because the T-Wolves did a fantastic job shutting him down. But Oklahoma City, man. I mean, it's one thing to lose. Look, I know you go to their home court. You corner an injured scarred up a little bit. But, man, that was the worst game I think I've seen in the playoffs so far out of all these teams. To get blown out by 42 points, and it wasn't even that close. It could have been worse. The level of effort was non-existent. What a terrible, terrible game. What a terrible loss for the Oklahoma City Thunder. I had them as the best team in these playoffs. And after that performance, I have to pause on that. Again, I was wrong completely, thinking that this was going to be a 4-game sweep. I apologize. Shay, what are you doing? 14 points in a disgusting blowout. Whew. Game 4 tonight. Which teams are going to show up tonight? Are we going to Saturday's Minnesota Timberwolves team that literally showed up out of nowhere and blew these guys out by 42? Or are we going to see the 2 losses Minnesota Timberwolves? And which OKC team are we going to see? Are we going to see the MVP SGA? Or are we going to see that 14-point debacle on Saturday? So game 4 is going to be huge. Does Oklahoma City Thunder go up 3-1? Or do the Minnesota Timberwolves tie this thing up in 2-2 and make it a series? I don't know now. This is crazy. Again, I was totally wrong. Minnesota showed up. Anthony Edwards just showed up. It was a hell of a win. And a much needed win. So, Eastern Conference Finals, Western Conference Finals. We had 2 teams dance with important victories, with the New York Knicks winning over the Indiana Pacers, Game 3. Minnesota went up against Oklahoma City Thunder, Game 3, Game 4s. So tonight, Minnesota, Oklahoma City. Tuesday, New York Knicks, Pacers. 3-1s or 2-2s? I want to know what you guys think. Who do you got? Drop me a line. I'd like to hear about it. But, man, these playoffs are not short of drama right now. You think they flipped the script on you. So, crazy. Little news in the association. It looks like the Denver Nuggets are going to take away the interim title to David Adelman, and they're going to make him a head coach. So spent 8 seasons under Malone, had a lot of support from the organization. He is now going to be their head coach. We'll see how this goes. I mean, they threw him in 3 games to go in the regular season. Takes kind of an injured, beat up Denver Nuggets team to Game 7 against the number 1 Oklahoma City Thunder. So they like what they saw. Guy, he was kind of the next up and coming coach. You know, somebody else was going to try to swoop in and grab him, and the Nuggets said, "No, you're not. We're going to make you. We're going to make you our head coach." So we'll see how that bodes for the Nuggets moving forward. They do need some pieces on that team. They do need to add some better pieces around Nikola Jokic, and we'll talk about that, guys. Again, 3 from deep. After the playoffs, I'm not going anywhere. Still going to be here. We're going to still be talking about basketball. We're going to be talking about the offseason. We're going to be talking about the rookies coming in. We're going to be talking about teams and moves. We got a lot of moves. We got free agency. We got a lot going on after these playoffs are done. So I'm not going anywhere, and I hope you guys don't go anywhere and you stay with me here. But speaking of those rookies, NBA draft coming up here, end of June 25th, 26th. And I've kind of been going through my top 30 prospects. We're going to talk about 14 through 19 right now. And as we get closer to the draft. I'm hoping to do some collabos with some of my talk college basketball, because I I know some college basketball enough to be dangerous, but I got out there that know a heck of a lot more than me, knowledge and wisdom. So we're going to bring them on, and we're going to kind of do some collabos, because you got the next up and coming group here, and it's not just Cooper Flag. I know right now everybody knows that name. He's going to be the first overall pick. Dallas and that franchise and that fan base, talk about a roller coaster of emotions for the year, to win the first pick in the draft, um, the Cooper Flag sweepstakes, consolation prize for getting rid of Luka, because Luka Doncic top 5 in the NBA. Cooper Flag, some possibilities. I don't know. We'll see. But let's talk about 14 through 19. We'll start off at 19. Let's go over here to Cedric Coward, shooting small forward from Washington State. 6'6". He's pretty efficient, and his draft stock is rising. So I guess the more workouts he has, the more he's impressing a lot of people out there. So Cedric Coward, shooting forward from Washington State. Then number 18, you got Asa Newell, power forward from Georgia, 6'10". Very efficient, good player. Again, stock moving up. He's got good size, 6'10", pounds. Man, I don't know. I mean, the NBA is looking like the NFL right now. They love 6'8", 6'10" guys, 230, 250. They love those big linebacker dudes, man. It's the NBA is getting bulky again. That's just a big kid. That's number 18. Number 17, Jonah Berringer, center out of France. NBA tools, need some development. Again, some of those international players, they're the play over there is different. The competition is different. So you see a lot of these international players that have NBA potential, but a little bit different. So they need a little work. But Jonah Berringer, center out of France. Then number 16, you got Nolan Traore, a point guard out of France. He can pass the rock. He's good from the 3. He's got good shot making. But number 15, Nolan Traore, point guard. Or sorry, number 16. And number 15, that 6'10" is, for a center, is too small. But 6'10", out of Georgetown, Thomas Sober, good rebounder. He could have been a higher pick, I think, but had an injury last year with the foot. So we'll see how he bounces back from that injury. And then number 14, Igor Domini, point guard out of BYU. 6'9". 6'9" point guard, which is crazy to me, because I remember, Allen Iverson, who said he was 6'1", but I think he was a little shorter than that. I'm the short king guy, so Muggsy Bogues, Spud Webb, me being 5'9", I dig the shorter players that make it to the NBA, but a 6'9" point guard is crazy. Very athletic, very talented. So that's your number 14 prospect. So we're getting close to the top 10. And again, as we get a little closer to the draft, we'll really start to deep dive in some of these names and see if they're going to be names you need to start knowing, maybe where they're going to go as far as what team. So if you're a fan, you really want to start kind of paying attention to who your squad is going to be picking up here in this rookie draft. So, guys, I thank you very much for joining me here on this holiday. And again, thank you to all the men and women, past, present, and future, who support and have given me the ability to sit here and talk to you today. So I'm very thankful for that. I do not take that lightly. So we do appreciate you being here. And I appreciate all my fans out there and all my friends and all my family for the love and support you guys give me for being here. So thank you guys very much for joining me. Again, big games coming up here. Game 4s, pivotal game 4s tonight. Timberwolves, Oklahoma City. Which teams are going to show up? Tomorrow, Indy, Knicks. Can the Knicks snatch another victory there in Indiana and make it a 2-2 series instead of 3-1? We'll see. Guys, thank you very much for joining me here. I'm Jason Colenso. This is 3 from Deep. Join me again on Wednesday, and I will check you later. Peace.